Good morning, members of board and distinguished examiners. My name is Muhammad Usman Tahir, and today I am presenting a strategic modernization proposal for our enterprise blockchain infrastructure. As we navigate the complexity of 2026, our organizational reliance on decentralized ledger is increasing. However, the technical foundation of this ledger is under the threat from infrastructure solace. This presentation outlines the Cloud-Native Abstraction Framework, a solution designed to bridge the gap between multi-cloud heterogeneity and blockchain synchronization. Our goal today is to move from theoretical proof of concept to scalable, commercially viable strategic asset. To provide a high-level overview, we are currently navigating a fundamental strategic conflict. While 92% of our peers have adopted multi-cloud strategies to optimize cost, this very heterogeneity is break the peer-to-peer networking required for blockchain. The Cloud-Native Abstraction Framework, or CNAF, is our socio-technical response. By decoupling our blockchain workload from provider-specific nonces using infrastructure as a code, we have demonstrated potential 85% reduction in member onboarding time. This isn't a just technical fix, it's a prerequisite for realizing the projected 3.1 trillion in the blockchain value expected by 2030. Today, I will recommend mandatory infrastructure as code or IAC standardization and a transition to a zero trust. The industry landscape is defined by what we call the multi-cloud imperative. We no longer rely on a single vendor. We leverage the best of breed services across AWS, Azure, and GCP simultaneously. Our consortium aims to revolutionize our supply chain transparency through shared immutable ledgers. However, an architectural paradox has emerged. Traditional cloud environments were designed for centralized isolation, protecting data within a single parameter. Blockchain, by definition, requires radical cross organizational synchronization. This misalignment creates a gap where the benefits of decentralization are being neutralized by the complexity of managing fragmented infrastructure. We must address this gap to maintain our competitive edge. Let's look at the core problem: systematic infrastructure fragmentation. When our consortium members deploy nodes across disparate environments without a unified layer, we face configuration drift. As shown in the tiles, they lead to an operational tax. Currently, our engineering team are spreading 65% of their capacity just trying to get AWS nodes to talk to Azure nodes. This fragmentation isn't just inefficient, it is security risk. Inconsistent IAM rules across providers lead to privileged access spiral. We are losing visibility into who has administrative rights over our shared ledger. Without the CNAF abstraction layer, our scalability is hard capped by manual configuration overhead, making long-term growth commercially prohibitive. Our objective for this project are rigorous and specifically aligned with our strategic risk appetite. Our headline target is 1300% improvement in onboarding speed, reducing the window from 3 weeks to just 3 days. We are achieving this through a special reference architecture built on a Terraform and Kubernetes. By utilizing graduated CNAF tools like Slot and Prometheus, we ensure our solution is built on mature industry standard and technology. These objectives are not just technical milestones, they are measurable KPIs that track our transition from provider dependent state to a truly cloud agnostic ecosystem. Regarding our methodology, we adopted a secondary qualitative synthesis. Given the high capital expenditure of live multi-cloud testing, we synthesized the data from elite technical sources, including 2025 reports from Gartner, Forrester, and the Linux Foundation. As you can see in the timeline, our process was iterative. We didn't just collect data, we triggered it for technical performance benchmark by cross verifying configuration failure rate across multiple industry reports. We ensured that our proposed framework is grounded in established best practices rather than isolated case studies. This provides the board with robust evidence lead foundation for the recommended investment. To manage this project, we utilize a hybrid methodology. We followed PMBOK 7th edition principle, specifically stewardship and tailoring. Stewardship is a curricular in the consortium. It ensured that even though our members are commercial competitors, we act as collective caretaker of the shared infrastructure. For technical delivery, we utilized 2-week Agile-Scrum sprint. This was a strategic choice to mitigate API drift. Cloud providers update their protocol frequently. A traditional waterfall approach would have resulted in an absolute on arrival architecture. Our hybrid model balanced the regulatory certainty required by the board with the technical agility required by the engineering team. No project of this scale is without risk. Our heat map prioritized three critical areas. First is the API drift. The risk that the CSP update breaks our deployment scripts. We mitigate this through automated CI/CD regression testing. Second is the privileged access spiral. I mentioned earlier we are addressing this by implementing unified OIDC identity provider across all clouds. Finally, to combat vendor lock-in, we mandate the use of cloud agnostic Kubernetes operator. By mapping these technical vulnerabilities to business continuity, we ensure that our risk management is proactive rather than reactive, protecting both our data and our investment. Our implementation roadmap is divided into 5 distinct phases over 12 months. We have already completed the discovery phase. We are currently moving into phase 2 architecture. The critical milestone is at the end of month 6, the cross cloud pilot. This is where we validate node synchronization across 3 providers. Following this, we enter a period of governance ratification. It is vital that our legal and operational playbook are as standardized as our code. This schedule ensures a manageable risk exposure while maintaining a strict path towards full member onboarding by the end of the year. This is most crucial slide for our value proposition. The data reveals that 300% gain in deployment speed through the CNAF layer under our traditional fragmented management. Audit readiness took 3 weeks of manual log consolidation. With the CNF or Prometheus, we achieved this in 2 days. Look at the configuration error reduction, a 70% decrease. This translates directly into cost saving and operational reliance. By standardizing the digital substrate of our consortium, we move from state of friction, where adding member increasing complexity, to state of scale, where each new member adds exponential value to the network without increasing the administrative burden. I am presenting three strategic recommendations today. First, we must mandate infrastructure as a code or IAC standardization using Terraform. This is a quick win that eliminates configuration drift immediately. Second, we must implement a zero trust SIEM dashboard with the service mesh. This provides a single pane of glass for security, ensuring we can detect lateral movement between cloud solutions. Finally, we recommend the transition to hybrid governance via smart contract. This automates our tech stewardship, ensuring that network upgrades only occur through cryptographic consensus. This roadmap prioritizes high impact, high feasibility wins while positioning us for long term autonomous operations. In conclusion, infrastructure standardization is no longer optional. It is primary prerequisite for blockchain viability in 2026. By adopting the Cloud-Native Abstraction Framework, we decouple our business logic from infrastructure solutions, ensure our investment is focused on driving market share rather than routine maintenance. We are ready to implement pilot phase. I want to thank the board for your time, and now I am open to your question regarding technical validation and the strategic roadmap for the CNAF or Cloud Native Abstraction Framework. And these are the sources from the images where I have taken the images that I used in these slides.